G'day, today we're going to have a look at another one of the weekly challenges in Mini Motorways. This one is set in Dar es Salaam, one of my favorite maps in here. This is the week of the 2nd of May. We have unlimited bridges, which probably won't come up too often in this one. Destinations are more likely to be double destinations. Bleh. That one really makes this tough. Paved Paradise, double the number of road tiles awarded. Cool, we'll take that one at least. So what I feel like we want to do is build a little just sort of wall around our double destinations. My goal here is that I don't like doing I don't like manipulating the map too much. But my theory here is that everything I'm going to get here are going to be double destinations, but let's space them out a little bit. I've certainly had it before where I've had no room to move between one double destination and the next double destination next to it, so I can't actually get cars through it. So for this one, let's at least give us a little bit of breathing room. Redeem those two. It's funny, I'll see, say Dinosaur Polo Club, will sometimes just retweet people that have sort of talked about playing the game and posted their sort of pictures of their attempt. Sometimes I look at it and think like, man, you can see where you've come from, like the strategies that you now sort of develop and just play with and don't even think about, and then watch someone who's just sort of new to it and just sitting there looking at the thing and like, man, you've made a mistake here. You clearly should have done that. Now, I also realize that the amount of times that people can pick apart what I do, and I can truly appreciate that this is a lot harder to do, to play than it is to watch. The amount of times that you can, even if sometimes I've rewatched my own videos, you can go like, oh man, how did I miss that? So yeah, these poor people just enjoying it for the first time and having someone that's played every single weekly challenge of the game sitting there looking at their video going like, you're doing this wrong. Alright, so let's turn that guy around. So let's just get those two guys like that. I'm not minding our little buffer zones here. I think they are doing a good job. We turn that guy around. Just let him go straight through to this guy, although... Let's turn him around too, we'll get rid of that. Just let those two guys manage him. We do look at this as well, that if we've got two guys that are attached that share a similar double destination location, then they're basically just the same one color. Like, they can obviously share the same roads. Not sold on this long trip that these yellow guys are taking. I mean, they could eventually inherit a motorway, but I'm getting 20 road tiles and a motorway is a pretty good deal. Okay, so let's give that guy his little border. A little bit nicer of a location for him. Get these two guys to hop across to him. Guess what, this guy, we've got so many road tiles, we may as well get him connected. We can probably get rid of that extra little bit of distance for him, since it's just can imagine that there's going to be no double destination being built in that tiny little jump up he had. Okay, so let's just pause this for a second. Get this guy to cut in across there. He can go to that. And we'll bring him down. This guy can... Now this means that this guy currently only has one. He's got two, he's got two. Bit off balance, but should be alright. Got so much space still in this one that I will continue to go for roundabouts, I'd say. Probably let these guys have one. Just everyone seems very underhoused at the moment, but we are only about 180 in. I think that my blocking has sort of slowed down the amount of houses that we're seeing. I've got unlimited bridges. So that means that this guy is easily welcome into... Yeah, if we get a few more red houses, we'll definitely cut these guys off. However, yellow's still using this. We can just turn that guy around to there and this guy around to here, so it's still manageable. It'd be nice to just have two more yellow houses up here and we can cut these guys off completely. So we can probably get rid of that little slither there. It's not likely we're going to get anyone showing up in that section. Okay. I didn't actually build my little blockers, but he wouldn't have... Oh, might have just got blocked off by it. But let's just build a blocker in there. Let's just pause for a second and we work this out. So we've suddenly gotten two more guys. Now what we'll do is we'll get rid of that. And we will get these two guys to come down and join in that. So that's now what's looking after him. These two guys here, we can just swing in here and then swing back out. They're going to be sharing roundabout with these light blue guys. These three guys can turn in to all sort of face each other. I guess we can just put a little roundabout in here. Now the three of them are going to have to try and help out both of these two guys. This guy here, I think we're just going to have to connect into that. Now these two guys and these two guys can help him out. We do still have the extra motorway, so we could just get these guys to leapfrog over something. Get those guys turned up. Go for another motorway. Okay. Cool, so that's a good add for this guy. Like I said, I would like... Just going to put a little bit of an extra sort of like stretch out here so that if we do get more red houses over here, they're actually going to be in a better position. Not that, but it's alright, the thought counts. Alright, so these three guys here, this is an easy connect. I'll get in there. Would actually be really nice to have this as a roundabout, so maybe let's get rid of that. These two guys are really the auxiliary of that blue setup, so let's just get them connected in a different point. A roundabout there. Let these guys go in like that. And these guys can have their own personal routes into this. This could be a very bad neighborhood for sort of getting jumbled up, but what we can do is we have bridges to spare, and just have these guys just run into their own personal bridge. And him not as easily, because he can't just turn facing water. Got a lot of dark blue running through here. I'm trying to work out the cause. So this guy here is meant to be managed by those two, but these two are obviously trying to take it upon themselves to help out over here, which we don't want. So what we can do is get rid of that. Get rid of that. Then what we can do, we can have this guy turned down. Means this guy's going to have 3 houses looking after him, which is fine. Leaves 3 houses looking after this guy. And we will give a motorway to these 4 and just hop them over to red. Means that less people should be traveling through this already busy spot. Courtesy of red. Hopefully these 2 guys are enough to look after him. And then light blue doesn't really have to deal with anyone else coming through down here. Now these guys aren't necessarily well off though. We have this one guy here that currently isn't attached to anything that would be nice to get down there. But I'm not sure our path. And this guy is using actually everyone he's got available to him. You can see that the only 2 guys that he isn't using are the 2 that just aren't patched. So as our sort of backup guys, let's just run them like that. Giving us a few dark blues over here. The motorway. These guys are pretty distant. What we could do is just give like a little edge out there. Have these guys bounce over. There's only 3 guys up here, so this is actually a pretty significant increase in the amount of guys in support of those 2 destinations. This guy here we can turn around, because that is his same location. Okay, so we've got yellow down here, not happy. That's yellow having to travel really far. So get these 3 guys turned in. Let's get that and pop these guys over as well. In fact, I don't like that. Let's no point in trying to enforcing these guys to have to go through that already busy intersection. Get this intersection over here. That. I realize we're now going to have to wait for that to move over, but in the long run it won't cause them to stop as much coming out of that roundabout. Okay, so for these two guys here too, actually, I suppose we could just plug them into this one. Although they could go into that and then head across to the other one. So not as appealing to just go to that closer one. Let them try and go in and help out. This red guy here, bit of a struggle. This guy here also isn't doing great, so we can't really have these red guys just connect into this and then come across. We do need some help somewhere. Well, this guy here isn't even attached. That was a mistake that I picked up on. I said earlier, it's easier to see someone else's mistakes than your own. And we can just hook those guys just a little bit around the edge there to give him. So basically he's just doubled the amount of houses in support of him. Nice inclusion there, because this guy's only had 2 houses looking after him. Okay. Dark blue is not happy again down here. Now, the thing that we need to actually do with this section down here is divide it now. We have 3 dark blues coming in from the top. We've got these 3 dark blues coming in here, and 2 dark blues coming in on this. So what we could do is get rid of that. Almost seems pointless that we're forcing those guys to go all the way across to the other side. Getting rid of that means that that conundrum is gone. And have those guys join into there. So there's no way to really add that in there without having it slamming into that one. So maybe we'll just drop it 1 extra spot to give us. Right, we can't put it in the middle of a existing roundabout. That back one. Have a little bit of room. And so we're going to just sort of push them that far back there, but let's see if that smooths this out a little bit. Okay, another adjustment that would be good. We could get this out of the way. Just gonna leave them like that, and then have these guys just run down like that. Should then mean that these guys can avoid the busy corner there. Now we've got currently, yeah, these guys are coming over to help out here. How many more motorways? Need more dark blue helping out here. And we've only got these 3 guys here that are just all sort of pushed in. Need to get over to that one. Now, these 2 have just started to fire off here, so hopefully this is going to improve the situation of this one quicker than it will sink. There's a lot of purple and trying to get in here too, though. We do need these guys to come in and help out. And we need to help everywhere with dark blue. It's our current surging problem. This guy here, it's going to be a long journey, but he's basically our backup for everyone else in this. He can come in there and go help out that one. This guy here, I mean, these 2 we could connect. It would just be that we basically just do that and then run this down here. No, because then that means that this yellow can connect to him. Those yellows can connect to this guy, which we don't want. Cool, the motorway. Okay. So I don't feel like there's too much we can do this second, except just sort of let these yellows and dark dark blues sort of just figure themselves out. Get that purple is extra help. Circular guy going with just someone else needing attention is always just going to be such a massive struggle of congestion. If that guy's got pure just numbers that are his problem, we can do that. Give him 4 extra help. This guy here, round about there. Get rid of all of that. These guys all sort of just enjoy different routes into the roundabout. Sling them out a tiny bit. No, we don't have to get that far out, I don't think. Oh, let's try and get them out of the roundabout at least. Sling them out a tiny bit. Bounce over there. That also means that these 3 red guys here can actually get closer to the game. Whether they come, I guess they could just come around the back here, but how much more help should this red guy need? I mean, he's using everyone, right? Let's stash them like that, just so you can see that hopefully they are the furthest away guys. They're not, because there's some guys here that aren't going. Can't believe this guy's struggling so much. He almost has like the best setup of anyone. You can see though this extra additions in here are slowing this traffic down something fierce. So this possibly killing yellow. I don't like that at all. Alright, let's cut those 3 guys off. I don't understand why I've got so many... Such a weird setup for what I've got going on here. These guys can go like that, and these 2 guys, it's like guys at the back, can have their own entries into... more of a straight line in there. Keep an eye on how this guy's doing. This guy's recovered nicely. Nice. Bouncing back quick though. He's looking a lot better. Now this red here, I don't know. Yellow's now struggling, which sort of says to me that I shouldn't be adding this red on this side. Can't tell how much, I mean, you can see there's a red guy sitting here that wasn't leaving home, which suggests that it's not necessarily full capacity is the issue with the red, it's just congestion. So with yellow struggling too, I can't imagine that adding more reds to this side is going to be a good thing for them. Alright, there's another red there. We want another yellow in here too. These guys are actually being used still, somehow. Get him facing down. We'll turn that guy around and give him to this guy who's... Give him across too, just because there's at least someone home there, so we can get another car on the road to try and help out there. But again, this is a bad setup. I mean, everything's a bad setup if it starts to when stuff gets this busy. He was cracking at this guy. That guy's just left, so there's no point in trying to get him connected. We have 2 more roundabouts, so let's chuck a roundabout there. Put this guy in here, and then what we'll do is turn some of these red guys around. And ideally it'll be a majority of them. Turn those 2 guys around too, so we'll leave 2 on that top side. It's probably too late anyway now. That yellow is looking really bad. The You got to park, dude. You can't block him off. He's got to park. No. Basically, the problem the yellow had was that red was getting in their way. So if we'd moved red sooner, we probably could have lasted a bit longer on that guy. Let's have a look at how we did. Top 3%. That's quite good. 57. Not bad. Not bad at all. Sub 4,000 is the top, so it definitely feels achievable there. Alright, there we go. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later.